Rotman School of Management, University of Toronto. Hearty congratulations. Could I ask you all to put your hands together as loud as you wish to celebrate your success? So this round of applause reflects and signifies for each one of us here the self-accomplishment, accomplishment as a cohort, and the accomplishment of the faculty who were so much instrumental in bringing us to where we are today. Every story we have connected with, every leader we have admired, every little thing we have accomplished in life is a result of taking action. So well done on taking action and graduating from one of the world's most renowned business schools. Forget the past. Focus on the days ahead. We have heard this time and again from people who are close to us, parents, scouts, our colleagues, and sometimes even our own self-talk. While that statement has its own relevance, today I'm sure all of us here want to step back to a future, to a past, and relive the past 5 months. It's worth every effort that we have put in, and we're drenched with joy today. To start with, it's a cliche to say we have learned a lot, yet we have. To start with, Unwritten Rules by Anne Armstrong taught us how to be designers and script writers of our own behavior, which will help us to adapt into the Canadian workplace at a macro level and the organizations we are in at a micro level. I can never forget Anne's tip: Metro morning face, Metro evening face, to reflect our preparedness to be ready to network with people we travel with, whatever be the mode of transport. And also introduced us to Give and Take on TED Talk, a novel idea at that point of time for all of us. And the key takeaway is, when we write the scripts for our own development, we were asked to make sure we don't categorize that into the unwritten rules category. It has to be upfront to remind us every day. Thank you, Anne. Correlating the fact that avocados don't grow in Canada to our struggles as newcomers that we face, Tammy, Shannon, and Geraldo educated us to lift and shift the greenhouse principles. So applying the greenhouse principles, if avocados can be grown in Canada, so can internationally experienced professionals can grow our career in Canada. So the strategies we were given to do that, or the so-called greenhouse effect, is strategic networking, informational interview to tap into the 80% of the unpublished job market, to nurture those relationships, and our most beloved career management plan. Tammy kept saying this: I am not here to be liked by you. Regardless, Tammy, Shannon, and Geraldo taught us our own individual career styles. Deep divers, scanners, or the combination, they were single-minded in their purpose to help us re-establish our careers in Canada. As a part of our curriculum, we were even taught to play cards. I'm sure you remember the card game, the first card game we played outside our classroom at the dining area with confused set of rules of engagement. Did it stop there? No. We were given more cards. We were given play Terry. We were given play newcomer. We were also given a trump card. The trump card was close the loop. I'm sure by now you know I'm talking about the lessons we learned from Sabina Michaels. Who of us can forget the 3 stages involved in close the loop? Tell them what you're going to do it well, and tell them how well you did it. Such tips, along with intercultural dynamics at workplace, laid a strong foundation in our understanding of what it takes to be adaptable and accepted by our Canadian colleagues. Walk like the world is waiting for you. Talk like the world will stop for you. With these 2 powerful statements, our paradigms were redefined by Terry Copton. Thought-provoking question was posed to us. Do we judge a book by its cover? We were taught with the help of that question to understand that we will be judged based on the way we present ourselves both verbally and in the form of a written communication. So Terry comes into play, and the drills we had in writing, in speaking, professional writing, professional communication, I'm sure night in and day out, we were practicing that. And I'm sure all of you will join me in saying we rock now when it comes to writing emails, reports, picking up the phone and speaking to people for informational interview, resume writing, and wow, the cover letter. Definitely that's a PhD in writing skills and speaking skills. Thank you. Everything precious requires to be shaped and shined, and so we were shaped and shined. We were given those shaping and shining tips with the help of how to handle difficult conversation by Sarah Neville and her team. Negotiation skills by Glenn White. Leading in times of change by Jeffrey Leonard Tully. Interviewing skills and resume writing skills by Ross McPherson. And all these did go a long way in the final staging of our preparedness. Thanks to Ross, he even made some of us replace the pictures we had on our LinkedIn where we looked like the world's most wanted. The question which Ross trained us to ask the interviewer back helped me get my job. The question, if you remember, was, ask the interviewer, looking into the interviewer's eyes, in 3 months from today, if I sat with you for my performance appraisal and you were extremely happy with my performance, what are some of the things I would have done right? I'm sure we have used those in our interviews already. That further cemented our experience in interviews with Melissa Magda's interview coaching session. She helped us build our strengths and enhanced our courage to face the interviewer with grace and confidence. Icing on the cake was Emotional Intelligence by Carolyn Meacher, which gave us the opportunity to understand our highs and our lows. I'm sure each one of you here sitting will endorse me when I say the Strengths Finder helped us rediscover our talents. And I'm sure it's going to be a Bible under our pillows. All of us acknowledge that there is no doubt the valuable lessons we have learned will help us in our lives going forward. But I think the most important thing that we have learned is nothing we accomplish is done alone. It's a synergistic effort. Rather, we need each other for support and coaching. Holding the faculty and the cohort together requires workmanship of a skilled professional. This role was filled by Valerie with uncompromising standards. We miss the Friday emails. We also miss Bhushan's out-of-thinking questions, Miguel's $1 million smile. I remember Avinash going up to Miguel and asking him, what is the drug that you take to be able to maintain that smile? And of course, who can forget Peter's dream house selling pitch? And every one of us over here with our own unique individual contribution to the program, making this a memorable experience, including the ones who couldn't be here with us today. As a final thought, I would like to remind all of us about the feeling of uncertainty we had when we started off from day one. That feeling of uncertainty did stay with us during the program, and my best guess, it's still there with us today. Uncertainty never disappears. The truth is, the uncertainty we felt before graduating and after graduating has a big difference. And that gap was bridged by the valuable lessons we learned from Business Edge. So in order to become Business Edge experts, we need to continue on with this journey. As Malcolm Gladwell says, to be an expert, 10,000 hours of practice is required. So as a final question to you, are we willing to invest 10,000 hours of our life to become Business Edge experts? Thank you. Advocate of Business Edge program. The reason I registered with this program, as Sabina is the only person who knows this, is because I wanted to join University of Toronto. I remember. That was the only reason. So as I sat through the program, there were times I would disengage myself. But then when it came to informational interview, that's where I started getting really engaged and really focused. I applied those tools completely by surfing LinkedIn, sourced someone using 3 tips Sabina gave me. 1, find a common ground. 2, speak about this person's personal interest. And 3, keep it professional, even if the other person keeps it personal. The reason I remember these 3 tips was because 2 days before my informational interview with Daisy Swami, Director of Learning and Development at KPMG, I had conducted an informational interview with Sabina. So she gave me feedback. The feedback was fresh in my mind. Spoke to Daisy. I was called in for an interview as a coordinator, learning and development. I prepared myself to be the best. Went in for the interviewed. Within 2 days, I got a call. The call was, you have the job, we want to go ahead with the offer, but we feel a little ashamed, the words used were ashamed, to offer this role given your experience. So there's another role we would like to interview you for. Would you be interested? happy-go-lucky. Obviously, the answer was, sounds good to me. When would that be? Didn't show my excitement there. So I was interviewed for another role. I didn't know what the role I was interviewed for. I didn't have the job description with me. I was interviewed for the role over the phone. And the interviewer said, I'll come down from Bay Street to Mississauga. And she asked me, I'll come down to your location. What's your favorite coffee shop? So I said, my favorite coffee shop is Panera Bread. She comes to Panera Bread at Square One and said, I was very happy with the phone interview. The job is yours. I just wanted to put a face to the name. So I have the job. I'm sitting. It was a 1 hour conversation. Within 5 minutes, I knew I had the job. I had to sit there, calm and composed, not to show my excitement. Because remember, in 5 days, my contract with my ex-company, GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, was over. So I was jobless. Just 5 days I was left with. And I was in an entry-level job as an intern. So I sat there, calm and composed, did not show my excitement, and I was offered the job. And I go home saying, I don't know what the job is, but I offered the job. 2 days later, I get the job offer letter. Manager, Global Learning and Development Technologies. And the offer they made, it's more than a dream job. Purely, I only practiced the principles of informational interview. I went back to the script we had, did not practice my script with anybody because it was such a short time, but here I am to share the story with you. So informational interview is definitely one of the most powerful tools we have been introduced to in the Business Edge program, and I would definitely recommend all of us to use it consistently. Even now, though I'm in the management team, as I committed in my CMP, I'm going to continue conducting informational interview. 1 a month is what I promised Tammy, and I'll stick to my promise.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
How inspiring is everybody? Fabulous. Thank you so much, Deepa.